Hey, folks. Hello, lady. Hey, Kate, thanks for the sub. 8 months. My goodness, that's almost a baby.
Welcome to my underground lair. You're just in time. Enjoy the share.
Thank you, lady. Lady, we've got a bunch of babies together. Almost 3 babies together. What up, Blind
Welcome
Cat?
to my underground lair. You're just in time. Enjoy the share.
What up, T-Bone? We got a couple of kids together. What up, GB? How are you doing? Listen.
Welcome to my underground lair. You're just in time. Enjoy the share.
You're breathtaking. We are all hype trained up now. Level 1 is complete. That's in the bag. So to answer your question, hello, Crystal, 1 and baby. Had a great time with Crystal, 1, and the baby.
Welcome to my underground lair. You're just in time. Enjoy the share.
What up, Carlos? What up, man? Carlos and I almost have 3 babies together. A month away from 3 children. Don says, tell me it's the beginning of the month without telling me it's the beginning of the month. Right? Listen, I'm an entertainer. When we boil things down to it, I'm an entertainer. My job is to entertain, and to present stuff to you in a fun and happy manner. Everything's supposed to be okay, and I'm not supposed to, bring things down, and I'm not going to try to bring things down. I am down. I have, and for one of the first times in my life, I understand the term with a heavy heart, because my heart is heavy today, and I now understand what that means. I've used that statement before, and I guess it's, I don't know, cliche or whatever you'd call that term. But I really understand it now, and I understand that term, and I understand the feeling behind that term, because today I have a heavy heart, and I know how it feels. Anthony Stout, wow, how are you doing, Mr. Stout? Yeah. So the baby was, I had a great time with the baby. I know. What up, nerd? I know I was not personal friends with Val Kilmer. But I respected him. I watched everything he had ever done. Starting with the very first comedy he was ever in. And before it was cool, I purchased his art. Yep, top secret. I purchased his art after he had the cancer, and he at the time was still able to speak, but limited. I went to his website because I was always a fan and saw that he was doing art. Immediately bought my Val Kilmer painting of Iceman. And told Doug once we started doing this that, hey, DCD Collects needs to get a couple of these.
How about a couple of these?
I like it. Very good.
Bananas.
Which we did. As you know, I think Bourbon has one of the original Kilmers that we got. I believe we have 2 more. Kate's like, I don't even watch movies, and even I know who he is, and have seen some of his stuff. So it is, we were literally just talking about him. Brent says Val was a great actor. Tombstone, Batman Forever, Top Gun Maverick, fantastic. And hey, Scuba, I love you too, man. And I always loved and appreciated him. And when I was acting back in the day, I only dreamed that I could be good as Val. And
Katie.
by a chance meeting, bumping into him, and I've told this story many times. It's one of my favorite celebrity stories because it was a genuine, candid moment where I got to talk to him about owning his art, and just bumping into him in San Diego, or not San Diego, at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, waiting in line to meet Carrie Elwes, and bumping into him and getting to tell him how he was the man and how I loved his art. Me and my whole family always watch Tombstone randomly. Found myself watching it today. Yesterday, Real Genius is, yeah.
Wait, she said, the cake from the back.
All right, open that hype chest, folks. Ooh, spilling the tea. We got the spill the tea one.
The Saint.
The Saint. Yesterday, I watched The Saint. When the moment Lady posted it on Instagram, I had to, or on Discord, I had to see if it was true, even though she said it was. And the first thing that said, you have to watch The Saint. One of the most versatile acting experiences he did in his career was in The Saint. All the characters he played. So yesterday, as soon as I got the news, about an hour after he passed, I watched The Saint. This morning, I took Jimmy to school, and I already knew the other two movies that were going to be today. The very first thing I watched this morning when I got home from taking him to school, and the movie I watched right before he got here.
Which I walk to school. Well, I walk home from school.
Okay. Relax, Bubba. I got this. Okay?
I don't know who you are.
Thank you. So, I'm sorry, I lost my place.
The movies you've watched.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What's up, Don?
So, the very first thing I watched this morning when I woke up was Heat. And because, I mean, you have Natalie Portman, you have Val, you have two other guys that didn't really make a name for themselves. Some De Niro guy. I don't even remember the Pacino character. Some actor. But I was like, I'm going to. That is a adrenaline full throttle. I'm going to watch Heat to start the day, and then Tombstone, because Tombstone. Everybody unanimously knows that he was the best actor in Tombstone. He should have been nominated for an Academy Award. Because his work in Tombstone as Doc Holliday is unparalleled. What? Yeah, buddy. Later, I'm talking right now, buddy, okay? I will give you time in front of the camera, but for now, I need you to go off to the side. Okay? Thank you. I will give you time. And, of course, at the end of Tombstone, spoilers, what up, Chef? Spoilers, Doc Holliday dies. So that was tough. That was tear-jerking. That one did make me cry a little bit. I cried in Heat during Heat a little bit because it reminded me of some unresolved trauma that I do need to talk to my psychiatrist about. So I cried unrelated to Val in Heat, but Tombstone got me. The end of Tombstone got me. Got me good. And it was one of those I gotta go take a shower type cries. And it's tough because before I did this, I did act. I did I did theater, I did comedy, and before I was into comedy, there was this moment where I used to be, as I was told, a good-looking guy, and able to act, and I had this dream that I could be as good-looking as Val, which not many people could be, and hope to make a living acting. Obviously, that didn't happen. But Val was one of the ones that was like, that's who I want to be. I want to be Val Kilmer. I want to act like him. I want to be as handsome as him. I want to be as mercurial as he is. But it's neither here nor there. So to have him intersect into my life was fascinating, and I feel fortunate. Even though it was a 4-minute interaction, it's one that I know he forgot instantly, and I will remember every time I look at my painting on my wall until the day I die. I will always remember that brief interaction with Val and conversations I've had with him on Reddit for about 13 months. He was super active on Reddit. And we had a couple of back and forths. We talked about stream of consciousness, poetry, which is something he did that not a ton of people knew about unless they bought his book. What up, Bourbon? And it was a cool little aspect of life, those interactions with Val. And he was very gracious with his time. And I loved him dearly as an actor. I wish I could have met him again before he passed, but didn't happen. So my heart is truly heavy, and I understand that term now. And in the future, I will probably only use that term when I feel exactly how I feel today. I will try not to water down the term with a heavy heart further. Wasn't Willow. So it's rough. It does weigh on me a little bit, and I don't want to be overly dramatic, but it does weigh on me a little bit.
Make you feel better.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Ooh.
Get it?
So, I don't want this to be a heavy show. Willow is great. That's where Val met his wife, and the mother of his kids. I believe the mother of his kids. Jack and Mercedes. Also today in the shower, I slipped, but did not fall. I caught myself before I fell, at the cost of me completely throwing my back out right before we got here. So I am in excruciating back pain.
Wait, you almost fell?
I did. And thank you, buddy. Thankfully, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I'll be getting multiple shots, epidurals in my spine. I won't be able to feel anything.
Not to change the subject. What did
Jimmy pick up at WonderCon? Jimmy picked up a few things.
I picked up nothing. I'm just kidding. I picked up
counting the weeks until I get voted out. The first court date, but on that, nothing. Yeah, it's a big plate to be carrying. What up, Hellbolt? Love you, man. Thanks, buddy.
How is that Splinter looking collection good?
Right next to the comics. Okay. So I do have a lot of WonderCon things to talk about. I do. I have a ton of them. We're probably going to be here pretty late because I have a lot of things to show and a lot of things to talk about. The Daniel Gonzalez massive hit. Daniel joined us at WonderCon. As you know, Kate was there with Blind Cat. Jimmy was there. Jimmy, what was your What was your cosplay?
Tanjiro Kamado.
Tanjiro. Oh, he's talking about his Splinter. Crystal and Juan, let me start there. Amazing to see them. I got to see Rhea. I got to hold Rhea. Rhea really loves me, I have a feeling. And I love Rhea already. Mondo did scoop up Thanos. WonderCon looked awesome. It was very poorly attended. His katana sword is super cool. That's you, baby.
Wait, who is?
It's Crystal and Juan. It was not well attended. The aisles were bleak for a lot of it. The people who run the con actually said it was some of the lowest sales in a while, ticket-wise. And between the fires, leaving people homeless and the donations that people were giving to those who were homeless and the fear of the economy, I don't blame them. With that said, those who did attend, we had a great time. We had a lot of fun. I have a fat stack of books next to me that I'm going to show you that we acquired. But first, so that Jimmy can go play video games, I'm going to give him a moment to show you some art he made.
Get up from the seat.
Just
Get up.
go, baby. I'm not standing, honey.
Do you think I would?
Do it.
Thanks to Nashville Vibe Arts. Shout out to him. Anyways, and then my favorite one is, you can see my reflection. Hi. This one.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Scuba.
Crystal and Juan were very, very gracious and generous. They did bring me a gift, and it is delicious. This is Port Charlotte Islay Single Malt 10-year at a whopping 100 proof. As you can see, I've gone through a little bit during the con and after. Delicious. I highly recommend picking up a bottle. It is very good. It is very good. It is extremely peaty. I actually like it better than Lafroig 10-year. I do. And you know I'm a Lafroig guy. I like it better than Lafroig 10-year. Yeah, right, Kate? I got my Jamie Sullivan Sully Nine Toes shirt. As you know, Jamie Sullivan is no longer in the 10-toe posse. He has 9 toes and counting.
What?
All proceeds of the shirt go to his surgery. And I think the best way to kind of tell you how the con went, first of all, is to get rid of some of this gain that is on this camera. There we go. Yeah, he does not have 10 toes anymore. This is how the con went for me. Who all signed it, you're wondering? Jamie Sullivan, Lee Cozy, John Boy Myers, Daniel Gonzalez, David Mack, Sam De La Rosa, John Zhang, Kate Crawford, Tony Moy, Death Pimisone, and Thaddeus Robeck all contributed to signing my pass this year. And we worked with or purchased from each and every one of these artists during the show. Death is on the back. Yeah, everybody knows, honey. Hey, Bubby, I love you, but you gotta let me work, and you need to stop bothering me, okay? You have an Xbox, you have a tablet, you have a drawing pad, and Daddy really has to work. He hasn't seen these people in weeks, okay? I love you, no, and that's why you gotta let me work. I love you, but you gotta let me do this. Per usual, James is certain this is his show, and I'm just a co-star. I told my job I'm not coming back next year today. Yeah. You're done. He's like, I'm out. I'm over it. I'm finished. I'm going to do nothing with cons, but cons with DC and Kate. Let's jump into some books, shall we?